No, I am not wearing a Michigan State shirt. You are outside of your mind if you think that. This is a regular shirt. Okay, that's Under Armour, not Spartans. I had a meeting and I needed a fancy collared shirt. So this is the only one that was clean. Don't ask me why I own this color. I do. But it is not a Michigan State shirt. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, we are here for episode 7 of our Michigan. What is going on? Oops. I logged into the Indiana State save. There's a little preview. I'm 0-0. Okay, we'll go back to the main menu. We'll try that again. Load Association, Michigan. There we go. While that's loading, I'll give you a quick update or recap. We suck, but it's been a few days since I recorded, and I've been going along with my... I have a save of Temple I'm doing on my other computer. It's the computer that I travel with, so it's a different save. Anyway, I sucked in that too, but then I think I cracked the code. I think I got it, and I'm going to change this Michigan team right over. I'm not going to use this same strategy. First thing, whenever I lost a game, I would do 10 push-ups immediately. I'm not going to do that because I'm all dressed. I still got another meeting I got to go to, so I will add those up, though, and I will do the push-ups later, but just not now. Second, I stopped worrying about outside shooting and athleticism and rotating and pressure defense. I'm just doing straight half motion, half triangle, 50% of each. And when I'm recruiting players and bringing them in through transfers, I'm going to focus on defense. Defense first, okay? And then whatever they have, I'll look at their other attributes. But defense is the minimum when I'm recruiting now. And that made a big difference. Made a huge difference. Although the last 2 games I played, I lost 118 to 114, which was awesome. I don't mind that at all. And then the very next game, I won 53 to 30. Back-to-back games. So I scored 114 and lost. And then I scored 54 and won. So go figure that. Okay, so we're in Michigan. First thing, we're going to go right into the strategy. I haven't logged in. I don't log in when I'm not recording. So there's nothing shady going on here. Okay, get rid of the 5 out, get rid of that. We are going to do triangle for 50%, and we are going to do motion 50%. Okay, and then offensive set usage, we're going to bump it right up to 65%. I don't even know what that does, but whatever. We're not going to do a 2-3 zone anymore. We're going to do a 3-2 zone. We're going to do that for, say, 15, and then 85% man. And we're not going to do this half-court trap anymore. We're going to do a 1-2-1-1 press. Now, if any of this looks familiar, the strategy part, I've been looking at different YouTube videos. A good one that I've been watching is there's a guy called Cards 1125. You've probably watched him. I've learned a lot just from watching his streams. He's very seems very knowledgeable, and he's in the CBGM. He's Louisville. I'll say it properly one time. He's Louisville. I haven't played him. I don't know him. I just I like his videos. We're going to start off 15 and 15. I want to get more training done on the defensive side of the ball. I don't have very much left. What about 10 and 10? Is that too little to do on the offense? For now, I think we'll do that. Yeah, for now we're going to do... That's how we're going to split up our defensive time. Let's go back here and look at our proficiency in these offenses. So you can see in the flex, even though we haven't been running it, very much, we're decent. We have been running the flex. It's the motion that I'm talking about. So we got a couple guys that can run it. Power forward and small forward. My two best players, actually. Two of my best players, I should say. The rest need to step up. But it's February. This season is done. We're 3-8 in the Big Ten. We're not winning the Big Ten. We're not winning the tournament. We're not making any postseason play. So we're going to use the rest of this season to coach these guys up. Motion and triangle. Both need a lot of work. On the defensive side of the ball, man-to-man, we're decent. The 3-2 zone, we got a couple guys that have some knowledge of it. And then the 1-2-1 press, nobody knows it. So it's brand new to these guys. So, I don't know, let's go back to the practice plan. Maybe we need to coach that up more. Oh, we're already at 10% for the press. Okay, I'm happy with that. And let's go. Let's go move on with the season. What do we got coming up? We have Ohio State on the 6th. That's 4 days from now. So we're going to sim to that. After Ohio State, we are at Indiana and then home to Rutgers. I think we beat Indiana earlier in the season with my arch enemy, Kent. I keep forgetting his last name, Kenny Kent or something. I don't let things go, by the way. This guy told me to lose his number when I was recruiting him, and I will not let him forget it. 1-0 against him so far. I want to go undefeated. If I lose this game against Indiana, I'll be pretty upset, even though we should lose it. We're going to be big underdogs in that game. So let's see. This season here, we're just basically going to use as a training exercise. And then next season, we should have some knowledge of these sets that we're going to be running. And I expect next season will be the first season of the turnaround. We are going to turn this around because I can't have losing seasons at Michigan. I can't. Juwan Howard can, but I can't. Ooh, dig. I like Juwan Howard, but I'm starting to think that maybe he should move on. I don't know. Okay, so the game is on the 4th. The sim is on the 4th. Our game is on the 6th. We have one on the 8th and then on the 13th. So 3 games in a week. Rutgers in real life. Did you see their recruiting? They got 2 of the 3 best recruits in the country coming next year. We don't need any more trouble in the Big Ten. Rutgers, we need you to stay on the bottom of the Big Ten. We need some doormats, and we don't want Michigan to be that. Michigan didn't have the best recruiting, but they got a good squad. I think that Michigan is one guard away from being a top 25 school. That might sound crazy. Not in the game. We're a lot further than that. I'm talking about in real life. Just a refresher on who we have coming in on a recruiting class. So we have 2 power forwards that are really good, and a small forward and a shooting guard. That's a decent recruiting class. Dennis, a 4-star center, will come. Oh, I'm going to add him to the call. I haven't been calling him. You got to be calling this guy. Nobody else is calling him. We got an offer out. That's a mistake on my part. Maybe that's why he hasn't been accepting. We just didn't call him. We forgot about him. So, this is something. The commits have the yellow shirt, and the offers and the interested players have the white shirt. Interesting. So as far as our roster goes, I think we're going to be losing. Yeah, we're losing a shooting guard. We got that replaced. And then we're losing 2 small forwards and a power forward and a center. So I think we've got all that covered for next year. Here, the next 2 games I want to win. Home to Ohio State. They were ranked up until yesterday. So they must have had a big loss somewhere. And then we have Indiana, who just lost big at Illinois. Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Ohio State. I was going to say something. I was all set to say something, and I realized it's not appropriate for YouTube, but there you go, Ohio State. Get back across the border. You're only allowed here for one afternoon. Lose, and then get back to where you came from. That's huge. Do I save after that? Yes, I do. So that brings us to 10-12. We have an outside shot at a winning record. I didn't think that was going to be possible with the way we were playing. But who knows? See, that's our first game with the new system, and we haven't even practiced it a lot. Maybe we caught them off guard. They were practicing for what we were running, and now we're running something completely different. So it caught them off guard. Who knows? Maybe Indiana will fall into that too. They're only 12-10, so they're not like way better than us. We're 10-12, 4-8 in the Big Ten, and we're traveling to Indiana to see my old friend. Every time I see Texas Rio Grande on the screen here, I think I should have a save with them. I like the colors. My son's name is Rio. It's a good match. Texas Rio. What's the V? I just read it the other day too. It's something. It's something. Grand Valley or something. Some valley. All right, here we go at Simon Skjodt Assembly Hall. Michigan. Indiana. Big Ten action. Coming at ya. Hey, Big Ten action coming at ya. We got Michigan 10-12 coming in visiting the Hoosiers. The Hoosiers 6-7 in the Big Ten. This should be a good. Oh, never mind. They suck again. No, we don't suck. 106-82. This is why I'm stressing defense on the roster from here on out. Wow. Wow. Let's look at our young players' defense. Okay, so you can see we got a couple of recruits or freshmen, redshirt freshmen that aren't even at 20 for the D. Our best players, Haywood, Shannon, Nielsen, Walker, they're all decent. So a couple of the guys I brought in this recruiting class are not good. So we're going to have them for 4 years, and we're losing a couple of our best defensive players. But the turnaround has begun. We're not going to get any worse. So that's good. Whenever you're working on something, don't look at what's in front of you. Look at what you've accomplished. We're not going to get any worse than we are now. If every day we're 2% better, 1% better, then we're on the right track. That goes with anything. Weight loss, self-improvement. At the end of the day, you're even 0.1% better than the beginning of the day. At least you're not getting any worse. Right now is the worst we are going to be. And I know I said that in year one, but now I mean it because now I know better. And you know what? I saved myself a world of heartache because if I would have went into that CBGM my first year, running what I was running, trying to run and gun and have high-scoring games and tie, I would have wasted I think a season there takes a couple months. That would have sucked. I mean, this is going to be a long enough turnaround playing, a couple hours a day. The CBGM, I think it takes a few months. So I saved myself all that time by running this save and learning. It was really the Temple save where I learned because in the Temple save, I'm at the end of year 2 and I've turned it right around. Just by running better defensive players. It is really snowing outside. If you see me constantly looking off into the distance, I have my big picture window in front of me and it is coming down. We haven't had a lot of snow here for a while. It is February the 15th. Happy Valentine's Day yesterday, everybody. And it's been a mild winter. Snow-wise, anyway. All right, we have some mail. I wonder if Dennis has finally made a decision. He has not. See, I don't like this. Dennis, you make up your mind. Nobody else is chasing you. Okay, nobody else wants you. He was a little bit rude to me also. And Dennis, I would direct you to the recruiting screen. We have some people that are hot on us. And actually, maybe it's a good thing that he hasn't responded yet. Let's look at his D. Where are you? We're going to go to center only. Interested recruits. If he doesn't have good D, we're pulling that scholarship. We're going to take where is he? Why is he not on here? Recruits offered. Why isn't he only available? Is he not available? Why doesn't he come up when it says only available? Defense, he's an A. I want him. Okay, let's go scout him. Let's text him and see what's up. Interest in our school. Don't give me an emoji. Got things to do. Well, no, you're going to answer my question. Number 1, okay. So what are you waiting for? He's from Miami. Maybe he doesn't want to come up in the wintertime to sign a letter. I don't know, but come on, let's get this done here. We're mid-February, Dennis. He's the guy that we need. Oh, Michigan. Rutgers don't have those 2 players today. They don't have those 2 players today. I want to go back to the Indiana game just really quickly, just to see how my buddy did. He's not in the starting lineup. He played 12 minutes. He actually got some points this time. He got 7 points, a rebound, and 3 assists. Kelvin Kent. He's been playing 12 minutes a game. All right. No problem. It's not like he's the best player that we really needed him. It's more the fact that he was rude. I don't like rude people. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't like when people are rude. That's a better way to say that. I'm trying to get out of this. I hate this and I hate these kind of people. I hate when they do that. I don't hate the people per se. Some of them I do, but I'm trying to be a better person, as should you. Not that you're not a good person, but I don't know any of you. Tulane. Remember the posse? Hey, there's Temple, yeah. Remember the posse in Tulane? It was about, I would say 10 years ago. It was kind of like the Fab Five, but they got, more than 10 years ago maybe. They got these 5 freshmen, and after the first commercial break, the commercial timeout, the coach, I think it was Perry Clark or something, he would sub all 5 of them in, and a lot of people said they were better than the starters. So it would be just like a wave, the Tulane Green wave. The posse would come in fresh, and then they'd just come at you. So you can see the pattern. I like teams that just constantly come at you. I don't like the slow down teams like Princeton back in the day. I like the running and gunning, But unfortunately, I can't win like that. So I have to play a slightly scaled back version of that. Oh yeah, Michigan over Minnesota. The M's over the M's. I don't like this M. I like this M. But look at this. It kind of looks like a W upside down. Still good. I'm not hating. I'm going to save it here. I save a lot. And I say this every video, but I've had problems crashing while simming, and I don't want to lose any progress. So that's why I save a lot. And yes, it does take a little bit longer to save on this PC. It's not my fastest PC, but it's the most reliable as far as the crashing. The other ones are reliable with everything else, but for some reason, this PC, this laptop, doesn't crash on the game as much as the other one. So it's really the only thing I use this laptop for is to play this game and to record these videos. I constantly look up to see if I'm still centered, because you can see the camera is not on the most stable of tripods. I've got a lot of returns to go to Amazon. Speaking of tripods, I have 6 shirts. I ordered a t-shirt, a Michigan t-shirt, and I don't know, it showed up just like a flag. It was huge. I don't think I've ever met anyone that could fit into this t-shirt. It's I almost wanted to keep it just to throw it on the wall as a joke. It's such a big shirt. I think because I've ordered some shirts from China, and when you order from China, you have to put a giant. I put double or triple XL just to fit me. And they fit perfect when they come. because the Chinese sizes are a little off. So I might have ordered a 3XL, but this was no 3XL. Michigan, we're 500 now, and we're on a roll. We are on a roll. We're 6-9 in the Big Ten now. Let's have a look at the updated standings after this 3-game win streak. We are 7-9. My mistake. 7-9 in the Big Ten. 13-13 overall. 11-6 at home. 2-7 away. We got some mail. Just a bunch of scouting reports. No news from Denis. Denis. And still he has very little interest in coming to our school. But apparently there's very little interest in him going to any other school. So he might have to come here just by default, just for a lack of other options. And I'm okay with that because I feel like once he gets here, I know he's from Miami and the weather might be a little bit of an adjustment, but once he gets to Michigan, he will find that it's the place for him. Especially if my new system works out and we become a national power once again. But my big concern right now is winning the Big Ten. We got to put a banner up. We got to win the Big Ten before we win anything else. If you run the Big Ten, then you can run the rest of the country. Although the Big Ten is no longer just a Midwest conference. We got our Oregon coming in, USC coming in. The conferences now are just all over the place. No more regions. It's all about money. This school can bring in more money, so let's bring them in. I mean, we'll have Hawaii in the Big Ten if they can make money. So for me, the Big Ten doesn't even include Penn State. Like the Big Ten is, Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State, Minnesota, Indiana, Purdue. The Big Ten was the Big 10, not the Big 18 or whatever. Northwestern's the Big 10. When the Penn State came on, the Big Ten, it took a while. They're Big Ten now, yeah, but it took a while for me to really think of them as a Big Ten school. What? How do we lose to Northwestern? They were 6-19. Come on. Now we got Nebraska and Iowa. Both have losing records. And then Minnesota again away. Nebraska and Iowa are at home. So if we win those 3 games, we'll be 16-14. I think that would pretty much guarantee us a winning record. These are the last 3 games of the regular season. So we'll go in, if we win these 3, we'll go into the conference tournament 16-14. If we win 2, we will be 15-15 going into the conference tournament, probably playing one of the top teams. So we could be 15-16. Our only chance of finishing 500 or above is to win the next 3 and go 16-14 heading into the tournaments. So last year, if you remember, we finished 17-15. We could be looking at something like that. Because if we have a winning record, we might get invited to one of those lower tournaments. So it's a possibility of another loss there. I should be more positive than that. But like I said, we're just kind of using the rest of this season as a more of a training thing. So you can see in the motion, we're already coming up. Triangle already coming up. Let's check the defense. That 1-2-1 trap, 1-2-1-1 press. We had no knowledge of it, and now look at us. So this practice is really, really coming along. The 3-2 zone, a lot faster than the other ones. So that's promising. Then we'll have the off season. We'll come back. We'll practice up before the next season gets going. We should be where we want to be. Here is Nebraska and Michigan. I expect a win. We're at home, and we got to win. 10-point win. Ricky Lee, baby. 13-6-5. Haywood, Nielsen, the young freshman. Haywood's on his way out. He's the last few games in Michigan. He wants to go out with a bang. So let's go. So the next game is just tomorrow, so I'm just going to play these games out. We got Iowa at home. They're 10-17. We are now 14-14, 8-10 in the Big Ten. 2 games left, so we can get to 10-10 in the Big Ten. 10-10-10, I call it. And, we're at the end of the month, so we got an auto-save coming up. So that's good. I set it to auto-save at the end of every month. I wish I could turn the camera around and show you this blizzard we got going on outside, but I don't want to mess the camera up. I got it set perfectly. So we got 35 minutes left in the stream. I think I'm going to end it a little early because of the weather. I have an appointment I have to make. It's not far. It's under normal conditions. It's a 8-minute drive. But in these conditions, it'll probably be closer to 9. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I don't know. I don't like to rush, especially when the weather is bad. I got a vehicle that's more than capable of that. I'm not worried about my vehicle. I'm worried about other people sliding into me. That's what you got to worry about when the weather's bad. Okay. And you got to worry about people that do have vehicles that are capable of it, and that goes right to their head, and they think that they can do anything out there. 102-85. My first century with Michigan. You saw it. 102-85. Get used to it. Don't get used to it because it might not happen again. We're changing our philosophies. Unless this philosophy results in even more points, thus accomplishing what I wanted with the other one. I don't know. To me, this seems like it's going to result in lower scoring games. But if I'm missing the 3-point shots, it doesn't matter if I'm focusing on the outside. If I'm hitting more of the shots on the inside, then it will result in more scoring. So here it is. We're 15-14, 9-10 in the Big Ten. We're traveling to Minnesota, who are 6-13 in the Big Ten, 11-17 overall. They're just looking to get their season over with. I'm going to run the rest of the games in the Big Ten, see where everybody's at, maybe even take a quick peek at the standings to see where we can finish. How big a game is this for us? The Shockers with a win over Memphis. Okay, we are now, it looks like we're in 9th. No, that's 8th. Once again, we're in 8th. So Maryland represents the top half of the conference. So if we win this, I don't know what the tiebreaker is, but Maryland's done. They're 10-10. So this would put us 10-10 also. And more importantly, 16-14, which almost guarantees us not to be under 500, which is amazing. We're 7-10 in our last 10 games, 7-3 in our last 10 games to get to this point. Don't throw it away at Minnesota, please. Oh, yeah! 84-79. We wrap up our Big Ten regular season schedule with a victory. 10-10. 10-10, baby. I wish I had I could flash forward when I started this save, flash forward to the end of season 2, me saying, yeah, 10-10, baby, just to see the look on my face. Because I would have thought I'd be dominating by now. But people always think they're better than they are, you know. Michi Althoff, how did he get through recruiting without me noticing him? If I would have saw that name, I would have been after him for sure. Michi Althoff. Okay, players declaring for the draft. So I'm taking it that we haven't had anybody leave early, or maybe that happened in the previous video and I just forget about it. Because here it is right here. So Michigan State's losing a freshman. Good. Purdue's losing a couple freshmen. I don't think Oregon in-game is coming to the Big Ten, so I don't have to worry about them. Michigan State's losing 2 freshmen. Good and bad. Good that they're losing players good enough to go to the NBA, but bad that they're going to have a couple extra scholarships that we're going to compete with them in recruiting on. Speaking of recruiting, Dennis, what's up? I almost want to pull this scholarship just on principle. If it was in real life, I would have it leaked to him that, coach is going to call you on Monday and he's going to pull your scholarship. That's it. It's ridiculous to go this far into the season and just let the only school that's got any interest in you just hang like that. And I wouldn't do that, honestly, if not for the prestige that I would lose by pulling that scholarship. We have no budget left. Oh, we've used our whole budget. That's good. That's good. I'm going to ask them to increase it. They won't increase it if you don't spend it all. And I've never spent it all up until now. So, I mean, we don't need any more recruiting budget. We've got it all pretty much done with, unless the transfers use budget. If they do, we're in trouble. I shouldn't have used all that scouting there, because if we need a part of our recruiting budget for the transfers, if that doesn't go to next year's budget, then we're in trouble, because I won't have enough money to even scout these transfers. I'm going to have to go just on numbers, on their stats. That would suck. In that case, I'm only going to take seniors, because if I make a mistake, it's only a 1-year mistake instead of a potential 4-year mistake. If I can't scout them, there's no way that I'm taking a freshman or a junior or a sophomore. So in the tournament, we drew Rutgers. Yeah, I'm happy about that, of course, because it's probably a play-in game. Gets us a win. Adds to our record. We could get up to 17 wins to match last year. We're going to look at the grid for the Big Ten tournament. It's not a play-in game. We are an 8 seed and Rutgers is a 9 seed. And if we win, we play Michigan State, who are the top seed. And if they're the top seed in the Big Ten, they got to be ranked. Yeah, they're ranked number 4. We have 4, 6, and 8 in the Big Ten right now. Michigan State, Illinois, and Purdue. Michigan State went 26-5. The other two went 25-6. All right. Rutgers 7-13 in the Big Ten, 15-15 overall. It's a big game for them too. They want to finish above 500 also. And if we win this game, it all but guarantees us to finish above 500. Because at the most, we're going to be in one extra tournament, maybe. So that's only 2 losses. We'll lose some at some point in this tournament, max 1 time, and then another tournament, max 1 time. And if we win the tournament, we won't lose at all. But we're looking at a maximum of 16 losses this year, and we've already got 16 wins. So all we got to do is win 1 game, and we'll be above 500. Any upsets? Iowa, victorious, Indiana, Maryland, and hopefully Michigan? Yes, Michigan. We are scoring well with this system. We are scoring well. Jeff Shannon, 19 points. Ricky Lee, gotta like him. No, you gotta love him. So we got Michigan State right off the bat, right on the next day. So we got a scouting report from Michigan State. See what they do. Normal pace on their offense, a good deal of offensive freedom in their sets, and they attack with the Princeton. Okay, well, that's all well and good. We're just going to play the game. Oh, I unchecked it, so it's going to... Oh! Knocked off the top seed, baby! If we beat them, we can beat anybody in the Big Ten. So if we run the table in this tournament, we're going to be in the big dance. Completely unexpected. Let's go back to that the tournament bracket. So Penn State, a 5 seed. That's who we got after we went through Rutgers and Michigan State. Now we got Penn State, who beat Ohio State. Props for that. And on the other side of the bracket, we have Illinois and Purdue. They were both ranked. So they're over on the other side. And on this side, we got 2 unranked teams. Not fair, but that's how it is. That's the way it goes. We pulled off the upset, so we earned this game. Not that Penn State is going to be an easy game, especially after I just trash talked them about not being a real Big Ten team. Hopefully they don't get any motivation from that. So we're going to run these games. First, we're going to see who won the Purdue-Illinois game. So Illinois Pretty big win, 17-point win over Purdue. So the winner of this Michigan Penn State game will play in the Big Ten final for the Big Ten championship against Illinois. Here we go. Oh, yeah, baby. 26-point win. I think we're hitting our stride at the exact moment that we need to. We're going to go right into the Big Ten championship while we're on a high. 19-4. This could be our 20th win. We lost. I unchecked it. It popped up on the bottom. So 19-15. If anything, that late run could get us some consideration for a postseason play. Nobody wants to be in the NIT or the TBC or the CBI. But I really want that 20th win. If we can get into one of those tournaments and get a somewhat easy game in the first round, that'll get us 20, and I'll be over the moon. But first, we got to get invited. We have to be invited somewhere. So a Michigan team at 19-15, is that enough to warrant some attention from these guys? Here is the selection show. Should we watch it? Is there even a possibility that we're going to be in the big games? I'll watch it, but I'll click through myself so it's faster, okay? I'll go next game. And here we go. Starting off at Dayton, the playoff games. Or the play-in games. Virginia and Washington in a playoff game. Auburn. Okay, here we go. First round, Texas, the number one seed, number one team in the country. First round in Buffalo. So if they're the number one team in the country, why are they not in the Southwest region? Why do they have to travel all the way out east? That's what you earn being the best team, isn't it? That's the way I've always seen it. But okay, so St. Louis, St. Mary's, Cal State Bakersfield with a 5 seed. Well, they're ranked 21. They've gone under the radar for me. I don't really pay attention to the other conferences in game, which is State with the 6. UCF against Illinois Chicago. That's a surprise. Belmont must have won the OVC. Okay, we're going to go to the next bracket. This would be the Midwest region. Arkansas, there's another one. Why are they in the Midwest? Number 1, Arkansas. Number 2, Butler. Then Purdue. They might have an advantage if they wind up playing in the final of the Midwest against Arkansas because they're going to be actually in the Midwest, where they're from. Kansas with a 4. That's pretty low for Kansas. Creighton, Gonzaga, USC, and Penn State. Penn State got in. And we just beat them in the tournament. Maybe we're going to be in. They're an 8 seed, so we can get like at least maybe a 9 or 10. Let's see. Let's see if we're in Oklahoma. Got some hope here. Clemson, number 1 seed. Michigan State with a 2. And we beat them too. We got some quality wins here. Let us in, man. Xavier and Penn. North Carolina with a 4 seed. Pitt, 5 seed. Vandy, 6. Okay, this is where we can slot in. I don't know if they'd put us as a 7 if Michigan State's a 2, because then we'd meet in the second round. But they did that to Ohio State. Ohio State, really? Well, they were 21-9. And Mississippi and Kansas State. So in Phoenix, it's our last hope. Kentucky, a 2 seed goes to Illinois. Arizona, 3. Florida, 4. Memphis, 5. Maine, the Maine Black Bears with a 6. And San Diego State, 11. I would have flip-flopped those. That's going to be a good first-round game. Florida State and Northern Kentucky. And I think this next game are the last 2 teams. If my count is right, we've done 4 brackets already. Texas Tech and Duke. See, Duke is 20-14, and they got in. So we didn't get in. I didn't expect to with 10 games left, but we had a good run. We have been selected to the NIT, and we are going to play North Dakota State. So let's have a look at what that looks like. East Region, Villanova, Princeton, Colorado. Midwest. We're not in the Midwest. Do we have to go to the South? Yeah. So we're 3. We're playing North Dakota State, which is a 6. And then the winner of Alabama and Louisiana Monroe. The 1 in our bracket is NC Wilmington. And there is the other bracket there. So we're sitting at 19 wins. If we can beat North Dakota State, that gets us 20. That's a big milestone. So let's hope and pray. Excuse me. I do have a cough button on here. I just don't use it. Back to the games grid. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this game preview. Michigan's favored by 10.5. We're playing at the Chrysler Center. So, yeah, NIT, I guess you play in the home court of the higher seed. So let's do the Central Connecticut-Indiana game first. Okay, so in that game, I'm just looking at time here. Yeah, the Central Connecticut Blue Devils knocked out Indiana. See you later, Calvin Kent. See you later. Shouldn't be so negative before a big game. That's why. They got their 20th win at our expense. 97-87 loss against North Dakota State. Now we can just sim the whole season. And then we'll take a look at the brackets for you. And I think that's going to do it for this video. It's a little short. We're at 42 minutes right now, but the weather's bad out there. I have an appointment to get to. I want to give myself a little bit extra time to get there. So we're going to end it. We're going to end it after this season here, after the tournament. And then we'll pick it up in episode 8. Episode 8 will be filmed 3 weeks from now, but you won't see that big gap in time. So right now I just posted the first video of the series, not week 1, but episode 1. So I'm going to put them out every 3 or 4 days. That way, when I'm away for a couple weeks, I'm going to have content coming out. So as far as you're concerned, that video is still going to come out in 3 or 4 days from now, but I'm going to look a lot different. I'm going to be about 3 weeks older. Hopefully a little less heavy from all the push-ups. Hopefully this season or next season I won't have too many push-ups to do, but I'm going to retro fit that back to game 1 of this season. So I lost 16 times. I'm going to do 160 push-ups tonight. And that's going to take me, I'm going to have to break it up because that's a lot. That's a lot for me. So every loss is 10 push-ups, and that's it. We have a team incident that's going to stop the sim. How do we have an incident? We're not even playing. The season's over. Go to class. Get your degrees. Stop messing around with each other. If it's a walk-on, you're going to walk your way out. You're not even going to be allowed to be a student anymore. I don't need trouble from walk-ons. Especially with a computer that takes so long to load screens. All this time is because of this incident. So, let's have a look at what happened. Riley Barrett took offense to something Deion Price. Oh, how did I know these two? From day one, these two have not gotten along. Day one. And I'd love for Deion Price to transfer this 1 star. But guess what, Deion Price? When he leaves, you're still not going to play. Right now, I got 1, 2. I got 2. Wait a second. Riley Barrett isn't even a small forward. He's a shooting guard. What are you doing, Deion Price? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give him the most severe punishment that is available to me, because the season's over. I don't care about his morale, and I would love for him to transfer. 2-week suspension. Fine, some time away from these guys might be good. Anything else? Oh, he didn't even get upset. That backfired on me too. You know why? I'm suspending him for 2 weeks when the season's over. Like, it has no effect on him at all. He's going to go to class like normal. And... All right, we're going to sim the rest of the season. There's only 3 days left. That was a big waste of time. Illinois, I think they're going to win the tournament. They must be in the Final Four by now. Look at Vandy. There were 12 losses, and they're the 23rd highest ranked team in the nation. How's that possible? With 12 losses. So is this the final? Let's just have a look. Yeah, here's the Final Four. Illinois dispatched Vanderbilt and Washington over Central Florida. I'm going to go through the brackets now so I don't have to do it later. Texas was the number 1 seed. They got knocked off by Tennessee. The 2 seed got knocked off in the first round. That was a 15-2 upset. And then the 3 seed also got upset on this side. So we have wide open on this side of the bracket. That's how Central Florida made it to the regional final. And then they beat the 4 seed on the other side. So we had a 7-4. That's how Central Florida made the Final Four. In the Midwest, we had Arkansas as the number 1 seed, but they went down to Penn State. Penn State went down to Washington, who then beat Purdue. So Washington was a 12 seed. They beat a 5, a 4, an 8, and a 3. So they earned it. Oklahoma, the South region, Clemson was number 1, and they went all the way to the final before losing against Vandy. Vandy. They're 3-point shooting Vandy. That's how I picture Vandy and BYU. I don't know why. I just picture them as just a bunch of guys hitting threes. Number 2, Michigan State went down to Vandy. Number 3, Xavier went down to Vandy. So look at this. Vanderbilt beat an 11, a 3, a 2, and a 1. So they did earn that place. And then the Southwest. Kentucky, number 1, fell to Duke, who was inexplicably a 9. How did Duke get a 9 seed? Look at Nickel State. 102 over Memphis. 88 on Florida, and they dropped 66 on Duke, but held them to 52. They made it all the way to the regional final as a 12. If they would have won that, we would have had 2 12s in the Final Four. Illinois had a pretty easy run. They beat a 15, a 10, and then they had their toughest game, Arizona, 3 seed, before beating Nickel State to make the Final Four. And even in the Final Four, they had to beat a 6 and a 12. So their toughest game was a 3 seed. They were the favorites in every game they played. So, I mean, you look at this Final Four, a 2, a 6, a 7, and a 12. It's wide open. Wide open. So here's the final. Washington as a 12 seed. Can they win? No, they cannot. That's your answer. They cannot win. It's snowing heavy, but it's not like, it's kind of soft snow. It'll be fun to drive in. For wondering what my appointment is, I had that heart monitor thing on for the last 3 days. I got to go drop it off, and then while I'm out, it's in the same plaza as Winners and a bunch of clothing stores. So I pick up my son at 3:30, and I got to drop this thing off at 2. So I'm just gonna stay out. I'm gonna go to the store, maybe walk around Walmart, get some steps in. There's no point coming back and then going back out again. I'm just going to stay out. Okay? You okay with that? Let's look at the awards. I'm only going to look at the Big Ten, as always. And first, the entire association. The All-Americans, I guess. Norton Award went to Terrence Cambridge of Washington. The most outstanding player in the NCAA was Caniel Florence. Caniel. Never saw that name before in my life. Player of the Year, Terrence Cambridge. Marcus Wooden from Butler was the Defensive Player of the Year. Freshman of the Year, Doug Curley of Alabama. I wonder if he's going to stay. He's a 5-star who averaged 27 points a game for the Tide. I wonder if he's going to stay or go. Here's the first team All-American. Bama, Butler, Washington, Carolina, and Pitt. Second team All-Americans. Oh, we had 3 Big Ten. Okay, now let's look at the Big Ten. I'll give you a little spoiler. Second team All-American, Big Ten. We didn't have anybody on there. This team did. And the first team All-Americans in the Big Ten, Canyon Florence. There he is again with Julian Riddick. No wonder. They had a nice 1-2 punch going on there. Donovan Andrews from Michigan State. And the individual awards, Player of the Year, Dion DePay from Indiana. Big center, 24 and 10 he averaged. Defensive Player of the Year, Brendan Shepard. This is an award that we're going to target with all the defensive players coming in, that we're going to have coming in. Charlie Floyd from Purdue was the Freshman of the Year, and Coach of the Year was Brad Underwood of Illinois. I think he was the Coach of the Year in the entire country. Yeah, he was. 34 wins and 6 losses. All right. It's time. We only got 10 minutes left in the stream. I could finish it, but... And that 2 o'clock appointment isn't a hard 2 o'clock. I just got to drop something off. But when they tell me 2, I like to go at 2. I don't like to be early or late. Some people think early is on time, but I think early is unprofessional. We got some coaching jobs available. I don't want any of them. Phil Martelli, my assistant coach, is retiring. Here's my season review. Qualified for the tournament, failed. Finished in top half of the conference, succeeded. So they did give us that position over Maryland. Well, they didn't on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We finished 8th out of 14, but we tied for 8th. So they gave us the credit for that. Grading on a curve. I like that. Win 15 games. We accomplished that. No academic ineligibility. Yes. And we improved the school prestige. No. But it changed from 66 to 66. To me, that's not a change. I don't know. What do I know? But when it goes from 66 to 66, that's the same number. That's no change. So I would put unchanged. But anyway, that's just me. Let's look at Phil Martelli. Is he still listed here? Or did he? Oh, he left right away. He booked it right away. All right, well, we're going to have to coach. We're going to have to hire him. We're going to have to hire a replacement. What did he do? He was in charge of practice. So my recruiting, I'm happy with. Scouting, I could use some improvement, but we need a good practice coach. So we're not going to do any of this. Oh, I could have just clicked here. So I'm going to focus on defense. I want a good all-around coach. This is my first assistant, so we're going to give him some big bucks. We're going to go maybe $100,000 to the higher end of his demands anyway. So staff hiring. Here we are. We're getting down to it. Coaching vacancies. I know, that's why I'm here. Ooh, Devin Johnson. He's at Texas A&M right now. Assistant coach at Texas A&M. This guy's a better scouter and player developer. This guy's even better at developing players, but not by much. Okay, we're going to go Russ Turner because he'll probably be cheaper and cause less problems if we're not poaching him. So his demands, he's asking from anywhere from 33 to 109. So we're just going to offer him 102. And he looks pretty good all around. So we're going to go 5 years, the max. He should accept that. And we got the money for it. So let's get a good coaching staff here. Yeah, he took it. There it is right there. Assistant number 1, Michigan. Accepted. Now let's look at his star ratings here. Yeah, that's good. Good all around. All around good. Especially in the defense. So Stacy will have to be... I signed him to 4 years? Ugh. Well, he's going to have to be eventually replaced. Next year, Sadie Washington's coming up. I could probably get a better scouter. Russ Turner's a better scouter. So we're going to upgrade him. If I can get an even better recruiter... No, I can't because he can't go anywhere else. He's going to stay my recruiter for another 4 years. And... yeah, so next year we're going to replace Sadie Washington, possibly. So Dennis, your time is now. What are you doing? We got players signing LOIs, and you're just kind of stringing us along. Is he not going to go to school at all? Maybe he's going to go to Europe or something. He's now hot on us where he was warm before. I'm not even going to bother reaching out to him. I'm done with that. You want us, you come get us. All right, we'll skip all this. Okay, I got to go. So we're going to have to wait one more video to find out about Dennis. I don't like when players do that. Honestly, I would love to just pull the scholarship and take my chances, but I need him. Let's see if they're going to increase our budget because we did spend it all, and we won almost 20 games. So come on. Now's the time. I never expect them to accept my request, but here's the time where it's not out of the realm of possibility. They denied it. Okay, perfect. All right, that's good enough for me. Hopefully it was good enough for you. Thanks for watching again. We're 7 episodes deep. I told you, if you start with me, I'm not going to just put out a couple episodes and then you never hear from me again. We are going to go all the way. National championship, multiple national championships. Looking at 20 seasons. I want to do 20 seasons here. Okay? That should be good. That's it. Thanks for watching. I love you guys.